What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you guys probably the highest damaging unit in the entire game, and that unit is currently this unit right here, Super Sister. She's a Celestial. I already evolved her and I got her with Glitch and Glorious as well. In my previous video I got her with Avatar, but then recently I rolled up that Avatar and I got a Glitch, which I'm very glad with. And she has a full triple S stat and everything, and she also has max skill tree on the crit and range path. And yeah, she is currently the highest damaging unit in the entire game. She actually deal more damage than Gilgamesh, Goku, even the newly reworked Ichigo, which is kinda insane. And how do you get her? If you're questioning that, well, to get her is actually very simple. Now, the merchant will spawn here every like 20 minutes, and then you can buy a portal called the No Name Planet, and to get the drop, which is the unit, and you will need to use the portal until you get tier 6, and then once you get tier 6, it's gotta be uh, a guaranteed drop, and then you can just evolve the unit. Yeah. To evolve the unit, it's actually very simple. All you need is the Prodigy Star, which is right here. I think you'll need like around 200 of those, and then you just need an item to craft, which is this one, the Sisterly Bond. You can see right here, and then also you will need the left earring and right earring, and that's it. That's the evolved version of Super Sister, probably the best unit in the entire game. She also is really cheap to place down with 600, and yeah, let me do a showcase on this unit right here and show you guys why this unit is a beast and a nightmare that you guys should probably get. Now, this unit is a nature unit, which is I'm very glad because we haven't gotten a lot of good nature in general, and I can show you right here because I have almost every unit in the entire game. Nature, damage, and you can see right here, nature has some really good unit, but at the same time you don't have a lot. So you can see there's Canrod right here. We only have one Godly as well. Fuse Kai, Immortal Kid, and Giorno, which both are the support. Same thing with Yuno. Zoro is an outdated unit. Same thing with Broly. Tatsumaki is a support as well. Same thing with Almighty Ninja. And yeah, you can kind of see the pattern there. Most nature unit is a support in one way or another. Okay, generally they are support. They don't real. Their main point is not really to deal damage. Now there are nature units that work as a damage dealer, but in general they don't really do that. So yeah, let me do a showcase on Super Sister right here, and let me place her down right here, and then place both farm down and get the money. Let's turn on the attack effect, and yeah, so let's do the showcase. So this is the stat that you will get on placement, which is 3.2 million, 37 range, 3.3 second SPA, and then the same crit chance, and no passive currently. Because with the unit right here, Super Sister, she is basically like the Goku and Vegeta unit from Anime Vanguard, where you just need to keep swapping them back and forth for them to actually be good. But with Super Sister, you will need to use her ability once you max her out twice, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Because if you don't know what I mean, it can be kind of confusing. Alright, so let's start upgrading. Now, with Super Sister, there will be 3 forms: Super Sister, Kefla, and the Super Kefla. For Super Sister, the first version of her doesn't really have anything special. You just have a cripple and no passive. And then once you max her out, you will unlock her ability, where she will transform into Kefla. Now, Kefla is actually a decent unit. She's actually really good because she's full AoE. She still doesn't have any passive though, sadly, but that full AoE is actually really good with that quick SPA and a good range. And then let's just continue upgrading her. And once you unlock the Super Kefla, this is where the real stuff is. This is where, alright, there you go. So Super Kefla, you can see right here immediately that her damage and crit chance is just keep in changing around back and forth. It's because of her passive. Okay, now Super Kefla doesn't have any attack effect, which I'm fine with. So she's actually just pure damage. So let's upgrade her. new attack called Fusion Tempest. She is still going to be circle AoE through the entire thing. New attack again, as you can see right here. And lastly, this is her maxed out. And then you can see that her damage keeps changing back and forth. And you saw that for a quick second that her damage went up to 1.9 billion damage, which is kind of insane. And then she also unlocks a spammable ability when you max her out. Now this ability will make it so that everything in her range will earn 25 times of her current damage. And then it will also apply detonate of this multiplier. And then the nuke will also stun the enemy for 30 seconds. And then once the stun... Now the stun, it will stun Kefla, not the enemy. It will stun Kefla for 30 seconds. But once the 30 seconds has ended, she will deal 25% more damage, 30% more range, faster SDA, and more crit rate for the next 60 seconds. And it has a 200-second global cooldown. So this is a spammable ability that you want to turn on, but let's not do that yet. Now, also another thing is that Kefla actually has an ability animation, and let's just check her out. This is the first one, which is kind of sick because we haven't gotten this type of animation in a while, and it's actually a really good one as well. So yeah. And this is for the Super Kefla, where she basically goes Super Saiyan. That is clean, that is clean. Alright, so now let's move on into her passive, okay? Her passive is quite a confusing one because it's really complicated a little bit. So she has two passive that involve her attack, and then one of her passive basically make it so that every time Kefla gets stunned, her next attack will deal more damage, and she will also have basically a guaranteed crit chance, and she will also deal more crit damage if she gets stunned. Which basically kind of work as well with her ability. So if you use her ability, Kefla will stun herself, which will trigger the critical counter passive. Alright, so the two main passive. The first one is called Fuse Spider. This one is basically will make it so that this unit has the strength of 2, which means that crit attack will deal 100% more damage, and then every 3 attack, Kefla will deal 2 times of her current damage. That's why you see her damage keep going up and down. It's because of this passive, and also because of the second passive, which called the Overwhelming Power. What this passive does is that every 5 attacks, she will deal 5 times of her current damage, and she will also stun herself, which will basically intertwine as well with this passive. And then after this stun happens, she will deal 5 times of her current damage to all enemies in range. So she basically have a mini nuke as her passive as well. That's why she's kind of insane. And yeah, let's just pop this ability. There's no animation, and you can see that she's getting stunned, and then after the stun ends, she will also be dealing more damage as well. So I just wait a little bit, and you can see that. There you go. Now let's start buffing her. Currently I have 4 buff right here. All of them are a buffer. So nice. Let's place Erwin down, and then let's place Sabercaster down. Let's max her out, and then let's wait until she unlocks her main buff ability, which will only available after she uses this ability 10 times. But before that, let's discuss why is this unit why does this unit have the highest DPS in the entire game? Well, it all goes down to this passive right here. These 2 passive. I mean, basically all of them, because all of them kind of work intertwined. So basically every 5 attack, she will basically nuke her entire range, which is 100 range, which is insane. And then what's it called? She will also keep buffing herself because of her first passive. And lastly, she will also keep buffing herself again because of her third passive. So she just keep buffing herself while at the same time keep nuking her entire range. Now the buff doesn't have any limit, so if you actually kinda get lucky, you can basically activate all of them at the same time, to the point where the first passive and the second passive can actually stack. So you can have the first one activated, the second one activated while the first one activated, and then it just goes on and on and on. That's why chicken goes up to 1.9 billion. You can see right there. So her bell is at 6 right now. We just need 4 more. And while we wait for that, let me upgrade my Erwin. And then for Bulma, let's use the Wish of Power, which will guarantee a 20% damage buff permanently to all my unit. And now she will deal, let's see, it was 1.91 earlier, now it's 2.29. Okay, that is kind of insane. Next, let's try using Concert. 2.27, 2.72, sorry, and then use this one, and then use this one, and then lastly, how much? And then use her ability as well, and then 2.59, 2.55. Let's see how high it can go up to. 2.67, 2.89, 2.89 billion damage. I think she can go even higher, definitely. She can definitely go even higher. But yeah, this unit is insane. She's basically the best in the entire game. And the fact that she's not even that hard to get is kind of insane. She's kind of similar to Kirito in a way that people just kind of forget about the unit, while at the same time, Kirito and her has the highest damage in the entire game for just being a normal unit. Same thing with Asta as well. So yeah, that is all for this video. I really recommend getting her if you don't have a good nature starter unit or just a good nature unit in general besides Wukong. So yeah, she's definitely meta. Insane damage. She's meta 100%. And yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.